This is something that was such big news in my life that I ended my hiatus. Like, I haven't blogged in a long time. I haven't written anything over on Crossing Broad in a long time. I mean, it is something that hasn't been like sports betting related. I have not written over on Crossing Broad in a very, very long time. But I did today. I did. Because today, I finally got confirmation. Sheetz is coming to Limerick Township. Oh boy! Sheetz is invading Montgomery County. Now, we knew a little bit earlier this year, Downingtown was going to be getting a Sheetz. They're supposed to like take the place of an old Rite Aid or something. And so there was the idea, there was the rumor was floated out there that Sheetz was looking to land in Montgomery County. Now, in fairness, it's pretty close to the border between Montco and Chesco. But out on Ridge Pike, 454 West Ridge Pike, Sheetz was trying to get approval, and they've gone through multiple levels of attempted approval to get a site plan approved. And it finally happened. Now, I will say, I have spent every day since June 3rd, which is when the Borough Council met, I have spent every day since June 3rd looking on the Limerick Township website to find out if we were going to be getting a Sheetz. I don't live in Limerick Township. I live close enough that I'll call it we. I was so excited. And I couldn't find the board minutes. It was always the agenda, no minutes. So eventually I said, you know what? They have to have a Facebook page. I found it. They have to have the meeting. I found it. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you the excitement, the joy that I felt. Because this is what happened earlier today. I did a little bit of sleuthing over on Facebook, and look what I found. This is from the Limerick Township board meeting on June 3rd.
On the agenda is subdivision land development 24-03 Sheetz. Limerick 454 West Ridge Pike.
Okay.
So moved.
Local government.
Second.
Don't let us
On the
down.
motion is second. Is there any comment from the audience?
Good? No comment?
There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Lots of ayes! I heard no nays! I heard no nays! So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that means the ayes have it, which means that Sheetz is coming to Limerick Township, which means there will be a Sheetz right across the street from a Wawa. Now, why does that matter? Because if you remember, I think it was either earlier this month, maybe it was in May, I went on a long rant. I know, shocker that I would do such a thing. I went on a little bit of a rant about how Wawa's quality has dropped. And ultimately, the best thing you can have in the world is competition. It is great when the monopoly owner no longer has a monopoly. I will, of course, go back to pro wrestling terms, and I will simply point out the fact that WWF Monday Night Raw was a lot better when WCW Monday Nitro was on TV. Once WWF bought WCW, things went downhill. They went downhill pretty fast. Failed invasion angle. You guys know. So I love competition. And I'll show you this, just to give you an idea of proximity. Now, in fairness, this screenshot is from, I think this was Google Maps from like 2019. So things have changed. And this like old schoolhouse building or whatever is no longer there. But over here, you can see the Wawa, which is right up on Ridge Pike. And then over here is where the planned site is. Now, again, this is gone. This building's gone. This is where the Sheetz is supposed to be. Swamp Pike is like down here, like at the intersection. Now, this is interesting because Wawa, there's a Wawa here. And then if you go down this road, which I think is like kind of Swamp Pike or whatever, towards Royersford, there's one at the Linfield 422 entrance. And if you keep going, there's one at the Royersford entrance to 422. But if you go on this road the other way, not that way, but coming back this way, there's another Wawa by the Aldi and the Target. So there are like a million Wawas, and now you're going to have a Wawa right across the street from a Sheetz. And that doesn't happen very often. Now, when this happens, when Sheetz does officially get built there, will I do some intrepid reporting? Will I go to both Wawa and Sheetz and order many of the same things and do a blind taste test? You're damn right I will. But here's the thing, okay? We have to be fair. We have to be fair about the things that I do hold. These are truths that I hold self-evident, that not all gas stations are created equal, okay? Wawa does not have a fryer. Wawa should not be doing things that are meant for a fryer. That is including but not limited to French fries. They should not have them. Hash browns, they do an okay job. Chicken tendies, not as good when they're baked as when they're fried. Sheetz, they've got the fryers. They do a sensational job at the handheld stuff. They do a sensational job. You want to get some fried mac and cheese bites. You want mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers. Incredible stuff. Now, there was a time where Sheetz had really good subs. The last few times I've had them, they've been okay. Wawa used to have tremendous hoagies. Nah, they've fallen off. I'd still probably give the hoagie / sub battle to Wawa. I'd give all the fried / side things and all the fun stuff to Sheetz. And then it comes down to coffee, which, sure, it's like Sheetz is coffee. If you have the burr grinder up top, they're pretty damn good. You have coffee, you have your snack options. Those are the things that might help one win over the other. But the big story on Action News, Sheetz officially coming to Limerick Township, invading Montgomery County, in addition to the Sheetz that's going to open in Downingtown and Chester County. It's finally happening. I first moved to this area, moved here in 2013, but I went to college at Westchester starting in 2008. I have not lived in a town that has had a Sheetz readily accessible to me for a very long time. And the idea that now, after I finally lost weight, maybe it was my body's way of knowing in advance that I was going to gain it all back by making some late night runs to Sheetz. We shall see. That is my number one favorite story of the day.